Actually, a swarm of bees moved into a steeple of the church, like 65 foot off the ground. A little bit challenging. It's definitely different than any hive extraction I've done in the past, because this being that far off the ground, no railing. I mean, you can see I put some ropes around up there so that give me something to grab onto if I fell.
I became the pastor here at the church in 2019, and the church building is obviously very old. It's in good condition, but it needs a lot of work. It needs a lot of repairs if it's going to make it to the next generation. We've done some roof repairs, and we are looking to paint the church building. It hasn't been painted in about 35 years. And while checking the bell tower, I noticed more than one honeybee. In fact, there was a swarm, began looking at that, realized we needed to take care of this before we could start painting. We didn't want to just exterminate the bees. They are such an important part of just the agriculture and what goes on here on the North Fork. And so even before the law was passed here in Suffolk County, we already began that process looking for a beekeeper. And one of the members of our church put us in contact through their friend with Ken Robbins, who came out, identified where the bees were, and began the process of pulling them out.
I had posted on my personal page a story, I have something about bees, I don't remember. And Kelly Northridge from the church, the Community Baptist Church, saw the post and said, do you know anyone who's a beekeeper? And I was like, I might know somebody.
See, it's a good thing you posted that.
I know, right? See if I wasn't so annoying.
What's really cool too is the new legislation that passed last week.
Yes, and we were on top of it before they passed it.
She gave me a call and she said, there's some bees, I think, in the church steeple. And we came down here and met the pastor, Andrew, and sure enough, there was.
And so if you see a swarm of honeybees, the last thing you want to do is think extermination. You know, and if you can call it, you want to call in a professional to take a look to make sure you want to identify what you're working with. You've got insects of all species, some of which will, if you get wasps or hornets or yellow jackets, they will be dangerous and they will want to sting you. The honeybees are so beneficial, we want to make sure you identify the insect properly and then do whatever steps you can take to keep them and save them and let them do their work, because they're pollinating the natural environment and they're pollinating all our farmland.
Okay, so bees swarm in the spring, May, June, they swarm. So basically this colony was really strong somewhere around here. It found a place in the church and they all moved over here, moved in. They used a lot of energy building all this comb. Like there's probably like 7 or 8 pounds of comb, and every pound of comb is like 8 pounds of honey to make that comb. So they spent a lot of energy through the honey flow, which was like just ended like a couple weeks ago, to make this colony work up here. So when I went in today, a lot of eggs, a lot of brood, a lot of larvae, very little honey, stores. So they had a good start. They would have to depend on the fall honey flow, like your knotweeds and your goldenrod, to bring in enough nectar, and then they might make it to the winter. Okay. So that's what. But now, since I took the queen out, took most of the bees out, there's no way that they could build a new colony here now this time of year, because there's no honey coming in, there's no nectar coming in to build it. I have a vacuum system. This side, a hose goes in, a vacuum system sits on top. It sucks the bees into this little pipe hose here. And then there's a screen here so that the bees can't get into the vacuum. And then I can take the vacuum off, and now that it stays nice and cool.
And that obviously doesn't hurt them at all.
So it's a small vacuum, and the vacuum has like a control thing on top where I can control the volume of air going through. And then inside here I get some baffles, so when the bees come in, they hit a plastic baffle. And they come in real slow, there's not a lot of pressure. If you use the regular shot vac, it kills like 99% of the bees, and then the honey comes out, it's a big mess. Like right now, they're all alive in here.
Ken, be quiet for a second. Yep. Now you have them, right? You pull out the cone, and then what?
So I'm gonna go home now. This box is full of like 30,000 bees. This box is full of all the comb that I showed you. And the comb is where they put their honey, their pollen, all their baby bees. That's their structure, that's their house. And it has eggs, larvae, and there's some bees in here. So I'll go home and I'll combine these two. And if I go more than 3 miles away, I could open this up. They'll all fly around. They won't recognize the area, and they'll stay right here. They'll stay right with the boxes. If I do it here, they'll all go back right up there. Some of them will go back. I don't want that. Full of eggs. So then I'm gonna take some of the comb, and I'll take some frames and cut the comb and put it in the frame with rubber bands just to hold it, and put it inside of a hive body box like this, and the bees will reattach it and build it out and make it perfect.
It's really amazing that someone like that has the skill not only to get up 65 feet in the air and take a building apart, but also to handle the bees at that precarious location. It was really a great opportunity to see someone like that at work. Ken's really amazing to be able to do that and to help the church out. It's a beautiful church, beautiful building. So it was a real treat to be here just to see that.
We would just once again like to express our thanks to Ken Robbins and to Pamela and to Rory and to each one who made it a part of being able to save the bees here at Community Baptist, and just express our thanks for that. And also we just want to share that our greatest effort is not just in saving bees, but in helping people by sharing the Word of God with them.